All right, welcome back, everybody, to A Playmakers View. I'm your host, Jamie Burdish. Today, I have Rick Curti joining me. Before we get started into everything, first off, thank you, Rick, so much for joining the podcast. It was awesome to have you reach out to me. But I want to start off by allowing you to give the viewers an opportunity to talk about yourself and allow them to understand better who you are.
Okay, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on your program. My name is Rick Curti. I'm the founder and CEO of the Charolette Bats. I grew up in Los Angeles, California. Lived there for 25 years. And then around 2001, 2006, I actually lived in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then I moved to Charlotte, where I currently reside. Been living here 14 years. Love it here. Charlotte's my adopted hometown. North Carolina's my adopted home state. And while I was living out here I would say about 6, 7 years ago, I would say that's when I started this passion to wanting to see a Major League Baseball team in Charlotte. As I lived in California, we're spoiled. We got two of everything. And so when I came out here, it's like we got football, we got basketball, we got a hockey team in Raleigh. It's like we need Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So I just started this crusade on social media, simply called Let's Bring MLB to Charlotte. And, I got interest, and now I'm here doing podcasts and telling people about what we're doing.
Awesome. So when did that actually get started? When did you start to kind of get the wheels churning on that?
I would say probably like I was thinking about it for quite some time, but I probably got it going probably like around 2013, 12, around that time.
Gotcha.
And someone just told me, someone just asked me, like, what do you want to do? Because I was like completely lost. I didn't know what direction I wanted to take my life to. I just said, it sounds crazy what I want to do. I'm like, dude, what is it? I mean, what do you want to do? And I said, I would love to bring a Major League Baseball team to Charlotte. And they just said, do it. I mean, you know about sports, you love sports, you study sports, you grew up in like probably one of the biggest sports areas in Los Angeles, and you've been here long enough, you know what the city needs. And it would be great. It would bring billions of dollars to our state. It would bring attention, publicity, possibly an all-star game. Can you imagine having people like Mike Trout out here, or Stanton, or Judge, or any of these Major League Baseball players out here? And so
Yeah.
you should do it. And
Yeah.
so for about 2 or 3 years, I just studied the demographics, compared it to other cities that have Major League Baseball. And I found out that there was like 13 other cities that have that Charlotte has a bigger population of. Milwaukee is actually the smallest city that has Major League Baseball. So I kind of realized you don't have to be this big, sexy city like a New York or a Los Angeles. You can just be like a medium-sized city like Charlotte or like St. Louis, who's probably got the best fans in baseball with the Cardinals. And so I'm like, we could do something like that here, and we can support pro sports.
Yeah. So what kind of goes into that whole process? You talk about the research that you have to do. But say someone wanted to start a team, I don't know, in Hawaii or something. What is that process like? What all went into your job to get noticed, first of all, and also to get your name out there to people like Rob Manfred and all those higher up people that, you're in a process to where this could happen eventually. But when you start from the ground up, how do you get there?
Well, you just have to, just go in there, dive in. You just have to have that passion. Like I have that passion every day. I wake up and I want to do this. I want to do something great for my city and state. And I just simply went on Facebook and just started a Facebook page called Let's Bring MLB to Charlotte. And then I started a petition, and just got people, what do you think? And I think what really put us over is that when we came up with a logo, I wanted to just show people a vision of it,
Yeah.
of this could be a possibility for a team. And like I was telling you before, the original name I have was the Cardinals, because that's the state bird of North Carolina. But I'm sure you're familiar with the St. Louis Cardinals and other Cardinals in sports. So we eventually went with the Bats. So,
Hmm.
and then just going on social media every day, going on LinkedIn, connecting with people in my area, connecting with business people, politicians, people in sports,
Hmm.
and just constantly, always think about what to do. Now we got uniforms, we got hats. We're going to come out with an online store this year. A lot of things have been moving in a great positive direction. And then in 2015, we found out that the commissioner was looking into expanding and came out with this list of possible cities for Major League Baseball expansion. And
Mhm.
Charlotte is on that list. And we were like we're not crazy after all.
Yeah. That's awesome. So it's gonna happen, right? You gotta think that way. But what are some of the challenges that you faced throughout this process that have been kind of difficult? Um, one thing that I think about is this pandemic. I'm sure that slowed down things a lot. But what are some other
Yeah.
challenges that you faced throughout this process? And we're in a current lockdown right now. So what can you tell people from a perspective on your side, like how that all went?
Fortunately, yeah, the pandemic, that's probably been the biggest thing happening, and we just had to, like a lot of people had to overcome and do the best we could do. Of course, things got delayed and postponed. But before the pandemic came, I would probably like just people that had lived out here all their lives and kind of just said, no, we can't support Major League Baseball. We're too much of us. We're too small of a city. Like, no, we're Braves fans. People just had that kind of mentality of like, no, like we got basketball. We're good. Kind of like that. But the great thing about Charlotte is that we have so many transplants out here. Like nobody's from Charlotte. I meet people from New York and Chicago and Buffalo, St. Louis, Los Angeles.
Hmm.
And so I think that's what helps us because a lot of those people are fans of the cities that they lived in. And so they'd always tell me that I love to see an MLB team here in Charlotte. I just think over the years, so many people have moved here. A lot of Northerners, a lot of transplants have moved here. A lot of businesses have come here, like Bank of America is headquartered here. And I just think over time, people kind of just realize that, you know what, we can support a Major League Baseball team. And then the Knights moved to Charlotte. They were in South Carolina for about 20 years, built this beautiful stadium called Truist Park in uptown Charlotte. And people went to the games. I mean, their attendance went from last to first. And while people were watching the games, and I would go to the games a lot, I would always hear someone say, I hope we get Major League Baseball out of this. So I think that was a big help too when the Charlotte Knights
Yeah.
came to Uptown Charlotte.
Yeah. So when looking into the future, when do you think this could happen? Obviously, like I said, that we're in a lockdown right now in the MLB. But I know they're down to five cities that this could possibly happen at from the latest research that I did. But when are they looking to have an expansion team, and what would you like to propose to the people when that does happen?
Well, I would say maybe like in the next 5 or 6 years. The thing that we're waiting on right now is the commissioner has made it very clear that he won't expand till he gets the stadium situated with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland Athletics.
Hmm.
And right now, it looks like Oakland's going to be moving to Las Vegas. I'm actually going to predict Oakland will be moving to Las Vegas. They're actually down there looking at location, looking at property. Latest I heard, they're looking at where the old Tropicana Casino was at, about a possible stadium there. And I think that's helped now that they have the Raiders and now that they got the Golden Knights. And I lived there for 5 years, and it's like Charlotte, the big growing medium-sized city.
Yeah.
So I see that happening, and Tampa Bay and Montreal are actually going to go into some type of partnership where they're going to play half of their games in Montreal and the other half in Tampa. So they're going to have sort of like a sister city kind of connection there. It'll be kind of interesting.
Hmm.
And if Tampa doesn't get a new stadium, they're possibly, probably going to move to Montreal. So that'll take two of those names off the list. And so the other ones would be Portland, it would be Charlotte, it would be Nashville, and I think Vancouver is the other ones.
Hmm.
And they always expand by two. And so when you do expand, I do see Charlotte and Nashville as being the 31st and 32nd team. So I would say like in the next 5 to 6 years, I really do see like you'll be hearing a lot of talk about expansion.
Awesome. Well, that's really exciting, and I'm happy for you to and see where it goes. But in the meantime, how can people help out with this journey? I know you have a website, and you're going to have the online stuff as well, for like the jerseys and all that. But as far as in the next few years, how can people sort of make a push towards the MLB in Charlotte?
Well, you can sign our petition. It's at we have a website at www.charlottebats.com. We have an online petition on there. You can sign there. You can go under our email address is cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com. Drop me a message on there. Tell me what you think. You got any great ideas? Love to hear them. Our website is www.charlottebats.com, and you can actually see like our media page about our interviews, our petition. We actually have a little synopsis of our city of Charlotte, like why Charlotte should get a Major League Baseball team. And we're going to be coming out with our online store this year. Things got a little pushback because, of course, the pandemic, but things are starting to. We're moving forward now, and hopefully, we get this pandemic behind us.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us on A Playmakers View. It was an honor talking to you, and I hope that we'll see in 4 to 5 years a baseball team in Charlotte. I'm going to keep you on my radar, and we'll definitely, once that happens, when it does happen, like I said, we're going to see it into the future. But I will be reaching back out to you to get your thoughts again, and this is going to be an awesome process. So best of luck to you, and thank you to the viewers who tuned in. Shout out to Rick, and go reach out to him with, again, your ideas, all these thoughts you have for him to help this the MLB move into Charlotte. But thank you again, and we'll be back with you guys very soon with another episode.